zip up your spacesuits. We're going to Planet Body Horror with the animated show Scavenger's Reign on HBO Max. Check out our episode and find out if this is a place you would want to land on or not.
What's up, Misfits and Metalheads, to another episode of The Cutting Room Floor. We are from the band Cut Like This. I am Thorn Black.
I'm Rose Blood.
And we have music right here on YouTube, Spotify, and Bandcamp. Go and hook us up with some views. Today, we are talking about Scavenger's Reign, currently streaming on Max, or what used to be called HBO Max, but now it's just Max. Rose, why don't you tell them a little bit about this crazy planet?
All right, so this show is really interesting to me. As much as I love horror, I also really love sci-fi. And when the two meet together,
Yes.
It's a beautiful thing.
I love sci-fi.
This show's got everything. It's got amazing acting. It's got really cool animation. It's got an insane world, the planet Vesta, in which the Demeter 227 gets stranded on. So this is like a huge spaceship. It's full of all of these people that are in hibernation pods and different stuff like that and whatever. And they're traveling through space. They end up crashing on this planet, right? And this planet is not the one you want to land on.
Talk about a truly alien world.
Ooh, if you want to see the most unique and well thought out, weird, surreal, and disturbing, but also sometimes incredibly beautiful, animated world that you've ever seen, this is the show for you. Now, this show is actually based off of a short film called Scavengers. It's a short animated film, and you can actually check it out on one of the creators' website. This show was created by Joseph Bennett and Charles Whitner, and it was based off of, like I said, the short called Scavengers. And you can watch Scavengers for free on Joseph Bennett's website, which is Joseph Bennett, and that's Joseph, JosephBennett.TV. We'll put the link.
Yeah, I'll put a link in the description.
We'll put a link in the description for you guys so that you can check it out. Okay, but definitely worth checking that out. That'll give you a really nice little taste of the world, and it's quite good animation, even on the short. And I can see why Max decided to roll the dice and cover this really cool story.
Yeah, I didn't see that short. I didn't actually know about it until she spoke about it just now, actually. So I'm going to have to go back and watch that myself.
Because I be doing my research.
She did some research, and I was just there enjoying the show, But I can see why this story caught HBO's eye.
Yes, for real. This show is really, really, really well done. I was very impressed. It revolves around 3 groups of survivors, so let's get to them. The first group is Ozzy, and that's spelled A-Z-I, and her robot Levy. Ozzy is voiced by Wunmi Mosaku. The next group is Sam and Ursula, and Sam is voiced by Bob Stevenson, and Ursula is voiced by Sunita Mani. And the last one is actually just a group of it's Cayman, who was also on the ship, and he encounters a creature on the planet named Hollow, and this creature is telepathic and telekinetic, and as you can see, they both kind of become warped by each other throughout the story.
It's a really interesting dynamic between the two, because obviously it's an alien creature and it's a human from our world, and they do not speak the same language.
Yeah.
But because this creature has telepathic abilities, there is some sort of communication happening and a little bit of
they develop kind of like a symbiotic
point
relationship.
And these two are just, they're away from all the other humans, so he doesn't have any humans to rely on at the moment. And it's interesting watching what happens. You may or may not like what happens with this particular interaction and story, because it starts one way and then it starts going down a slightly darker road, and it's like,
Which
oh.
is kind of it's kind of synonymous with the entire planet. The entire planet is full of beauty and danger and weird stuff. If it gets so unbelievably strange and bizarre that I just can't help but keep watching to see what other thing is gonna morph into something else. Like, everything on this planet
I agree.
is changeable. Everything on this planet is really unpredictable. And everything on this planet will kill you. Like, it will kill you very quickly.
This is one of those where you want to pay attention just visually, even when actual story isn't, or dialogue isn't going on, and they're just showing like pieces of the world, because what you're looking at, something's probably gonna happen. It's gonna morph, or that thing might be alive, or something's gonna go. Like, the entire world is. They did such an amazing job creating a truly unique alien world from like top to bottom. I love that when I'm watching something.
Yeah.
I don't want to guess what's going to happen. I don't want anything to be like too similar to what we have on Earth, or too humanoid, and that is the farthest thing that you have.
That ain't gonna happen.
It is not happening. The weirdest things are happening, and some of these interactions have nothing to do with the story, but it just brings more of the alien world to the forefront. Like, no, this is really an alien world. Like, look at that. What was that? I'm like, I don't know. Like, what is happening?
I don't even know.
It just keeps you guessing the whole time. Like, what? Those are living? What?
Even though this is this is absolutely a science fiction animated series, without a doubt. It also has definitely survival horror aspects to it, which is why I thought it would be perfect to cover on here.
Ever.
Because, like I said, there are things on this planet that are beautiful, weird, surreal, and also incredibly dangerous. You know, like, and you never know what's a thing that's okay and what's a thing that's gonna be really horrible. And it's really, really cool. See, we get to explore the same as they're exploring. You know what I mean? Like, they're kind of, we're experiencing it all through their eyes, and it's very cool because it's three very different groups. You got one group with, that's a woman with a very intelligent robot, two humans, and then a human and an alien from the planet. You know what I mean? So it's like, it gives you a lot of different perspectives, and these perspectives are always shifting throughout the story. You get some flashbacks to when they were on the ship before they crash landed, and you get to find out how that happened. Really, really cool. And you're just, the whole time, you're just, as you get to know these characters, you're like, man, I really hope they make it. You know, but it's just like, you're like, I don't know if they're gonna make it though, because this is a really dangerous place. And so it definitely keeps you on your toes. It keeps you watching. And the danger's real, so they don't pull any punches with that.
I think they did a great job of making these characters, because I was definitely invested in these characters, their well-being, what was happening, how, if possible, they were going to escape the planet. I was really invested in these characters, whether I loved or hated them. Like, certain characters I didn't like, but I really didn't like them. So they did their job, because I really didn't like that character.
You don't have wishy-washy feelings toward any of these characters.
So I think they did a very good job building the characters. I was invested 100% in the characters, the world, just everything about it.
I mean, that's what I've always loved about sci-fi, and I've been into sci-fi since I was a kid. I was really into Philip K. Dick. I was into a lot of cyberpunk stuff like William Gibson, Neil Stephenson. I've been into, OG, everything from like hardcore sci-fi to like, all different kinds, every flavor that you can imagine.
Same here. When I was little, like, it started like with my dad watching old school Doctor Who. That was like some of my first entries.
This is a Whovian right here, if you can believe it. From
like before this current series has been revamped, like old school Doctor Who I was watching, and like the original Star Treks, they got me into all of that stuff. So I've been a big sci-fi fan my entire life also. But this was right up both of our alleys.
So
I think.
we hope that you guys are going to check this out. You'll also get to check out a ton of other free animated shorts on Joseph Bennett's website. Like I said, we'll leave a link in the description for you guys. Really cool stuff. Really, really, these guys are really, really talented, and this is a very, very compelling and interesting story with amazing characters who you really actually care about, because the writing is excellent and the story is solid. You know, and you
I had
really,
to finish it. I had to see what was going, like the what was going to happen. I needed to know.
Yep.
I needed to know. I needed to know.
So, all of that being said, Thorn Black, with our rating system of 5 chainsaws, with 5 chainsaws being the best, 1 chainsaw being not so great.
Maybe even got a bush with it, maybe.
Yeah. How would you rate Scavenger's Reign?
I've been mulling it over.
Oh, have you?
I think I'm going to give Scavenger's Reign a fat 4.5 chainsaws.
4.5?
4.5.
Heck yeah!
Let me tell you why one more time. The world is just truly one of the best alien worlds I've seen in anything. They had the time to really show a lot of just like the plant life, the creatures, the world, the people like learning about it, interacting, good and bad.
Yep.
And I like how they split them up, and there's a lot of different explorations and stories going on. I was really invested in the characters. I really hated some. It was just like I was invested. The only reason I think I personally take a half a chainsaw off is I feel like the animation could have been just a little bit better. Just
really?
a little bit. Just a little bit. I do. I'm sorry. I'm spoiled. I'm watching lots of like the top new tier high quality animes that are coming out with the you know what I mean? And it's the new animations and some of these are so crazy crisp. It's like crazy crisp. And mixed in with
they don't have the power of MAPPA or anything like that. You know what I mean?
That's fine, but
that's not the kind of staff they had available.
Personally, when I first started watching it, when I looked at the animation at first, and it's not bad, but I think I just come from watching one of those crisp, shiny new toy animes or whatever, and I was just kind of like, but then I gave it 2 seconds. I was like, oh, okay, I'm in.
Well, I'm gonna give it a whopping and a very well-deserved 5 chainsaws, because I think that the animation is actually really, really cool. It's just not the same as, the anime stuff that we are used to watching all the time. It's just different, but I think it's awesome. And if you check out the short film Scavengers, you'll see that that's just his animation style. That's him actually.
And that's just my personal preference also.
I got you. But I'm just saying, I think that the world is so beautiful and the creatures it's so beautiful, but it's so horrible at the same time. It's like the most disgustingly beautiful thing I've ever seen. It is so weird and it really caught my eye, and this is like I really felt the love that these guys put into this story. I thought it was absolutely one of the coolest and like just most well thought out things that I've seen in a while. That was a science fiction story that, it could have been something really dumb. You know what I mean? Like it's a simple idea, but then they really put all of this extra effort to make these characters live and breathe and feel very, very real. Like they put some real thought into each and every one of their backstories. And I just thought that was really, really impressive.
Yeah,
and,
they take like a concept that has been done before, but they just...
They took it and they ran with it. They took it and they freaking slam dunked it into a pool of gelatinous goo, and out came abominations and beautiful things all at the same time.
Like, you remember that
beautiful abominations.
You remember like that Will Smith movie where he was in a spaceship and the spaceship crashes and
you mean that terrible movie?
Yeah.
Oh
so,
my god.
Yeah, so something like that where it's like, we're stuck on this planet and
that snooze fest. Oh, I hated that movie.
But when they get out of the ship, they look like they're in a forest, kind of like
it just looked exactly like Earth.
Forest.
It
You know what I mean?
Exactly like Earth.
That's what I'm saying.
Lame.
Scavenger's Reign, when they're lost and they're in like I don't know if it's a forest or not, but it does not look like they're on Earth, and it's stuff like that is what I mean. It's like
these
they
guys
took
had
everything to the next step with it.
These guys had the balls to make a truly alien planet that was just dripping with strangeness, and I was just
intrigue, curiosity, just like what's that?
Every episode, I was just like, what utterly horrible thing am I gonna see next? And then followed by a beautiful and surreal and lovely thing. You know what I mean? It was just like constant change. It was very, to my neurodivergent brain, it was very pleasing because it's like, then I'd be shocked, then I'd be awed, and then I'd be, and then here's like the drama between these characters, and here's the storyline and the suspense, and I think they just knocked it out the park, and they absolutely deserve 5 chainsaws. Aside from that, is there anything else you'd like to share?
We are currently starting to write new music once again. So, if you have not signed up for our mailing list, please sign up for our mailing list. We're going to start having a lot of things starting to come out. We're starting to do new segments of our show. I think we're going to actually start putting those segments out separate from this show, The Cutting Room Floor, just so there's more content throughout the week going on. I think we're going to do a this versus that maybe one week, and then alternatively we'll do the Don't Isekami Bro the other week, and those will alternate, but The Cutting Room Floor will stay coming out every Friday. And in addition to that, we're going to start working on a lot of music. We might potentially even have little teasers just to get your opinions on little parts of songs, just to give us a little feedback, see what you think,
Yeah, and if you can, please make sure you tick that little bell, like and subscribe, leave us some comments. It's totally free to do so. It really helps us out. It really helps us stay motivated, because it's not easy to juggle all of our life things and do all of this at the same time. But we still do it because we just think that these are really cool things that need to be shared. And I know how hard it is with so many choices of all of these different streaming channels that everybody has to find stuff, like, I don't know what to pick to watch.
Like thousands at everybody's fingertips, and it's hard to find.
I really love to just share like the really cool little nuggets that I find that I think are just really cool that people would enjoy. So
yeah, because I have a lot of friends that oftentimes don't know what is good to watch on a certain channel like Hulu or Netflix or whatever.
That's why we try to mix it up here. We try to give you stuff from all the different streaming platforms, so that just in case if you don't have Hulu, that's okay, because we also cover stuff that's on Shudder, HBO Max, Netflix,
Amazon Prime.
We run the gamut.
Crunchyroll, like all over the place.
We run the gamut.
Sometimes you do Peacock. I don't know if we covered one on Peacock yet, but we do.
Yeah, we did. Twisted Metal.
Oh, that's right, Twisted Metal. Yeah. And if you haven't seen that episode, check it out.
That's it.
That will be all from us. Please, once again, show us some love. Give us some streams on Bandcamp, on Spotify, and here on YouTube. That will be all for us today. We are